It's me, the D-O-double-G. Welcome to the Eden Army Podcast with your host tonight, Pete Robert Tucci.
Welcome, everybody, live from the Horseshoe Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. I don't know if you could tell, but I got my Joe Pesci look going today, so I'm feeling dapper. It's cold as hell here, and first of all, I hate this place. Classes are great, everything is awesome, but this is pretty much a cesspool of liberalism, and I am not in my element. But I can't say enough about the classes, at least. So there's been a lot going on. Guys, if you have not signed up yet for my newsletter, that's something that they keep telling me here in these expos and conferences that we really need to do. So let's get that started. You can go to PeteRobertTucci.com. A subscribe thing will come up and you can just sign up for the newsletter. It's not really a newsletter. It just gets you on a mailing list. So if something important does come out, I can send it to you guys. So that's all I know about that. But everything, let me check the chat here. Botrix joins. Looks like Larry Dials here. Eden Army #1 and Guy. Russ is in the background. We're going to bring him up here in a little bit. But what I will say is that, look, if you ever are even thinking about coming to Las Vegas, just don't do it. You can't. We went to this restaurant down in the lobby. Guy Fieri, the guy with the white hair, it says, got a bowl of nachos about this big, $31 flipping dollars. And I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm a cheap bastard and didn't like it. Wasn't worth it. Russ, let's get Russ in here. Let's welcome our good buddy Russ.
Well,
Russ,
hi, Bobby. What's up, brother?
Hey, man, we got starting to fill up pretty quick. Patrick Seven's in the house. Guy, of course.
Javi and Susie.
Jave. I hope
Patrick Seven in the house.
Yeah, I hope everything's all right with Terry. I haven't seen her yet today, but she probably figured we weren't going to have a podcast this evening. Mm-hmm. So more than likely, because I didn't put the thing out until earlier today, I think. But Larry's in the house.
Jeff Johnson.
Feeling spiffy. Feeling
see
good
that, man.
Today. Bullshit in the house. So, Russ, catch me up with the news. Now, I know Trump has got the liberals losing their effing mind with these
he does. He really does, man. Ranging from, people threatening to quit, people just going nuts. And I think, let me tighten my hat up a little bit. A lot of the reason I think we're not hearing a whole lot from the left other than the mainstream media and a lot of action or inaction or action from the left side is they're busy trying to cover their asses. Their Office Depot has already been sold out of shredding machines. They're putting magnets to hard drives, the whole 9 yards. Just Russ's opinion.
Yeah, no, it's true. And the thing of it is, they're complaining about RFK. Does anybody remember who the Biden administration put in charge of our health? A guy who dresses like a chick who is obese. That's who the Biden administration thinks should be in charge of our health. And so now you get a fit guy like RFK, and he wants to do some stuff that kind of makes common sense, and they're losing their flipping mind. So I like this note up here you put. FDA employees are planning on quitting. Good, quit.
Yeah,
quit.
It saves some work for Elon and Vivek. Because the DOGE or the Doge, however you're going to say it, they're going to go freaking wild, man. If you follow, because they actually have a DOGE on X now. So my question to you, Pete, in regards to this, we're going to talk. We moved on down to Elon and them. Where should they start? What do you think? And guys in the comments, what do you guys think they should start? Hey, let's what do you think?
Yeah, let's see where Elon and Vivek should start cutting funds. I know where I would start. First of all you got to do is look at all the pork that's in the budget, and you can tell, we don't need to be funding for chimpanzee research in South Carolina to see, if they become transgender somehow, if you give them enough
or
hormones.
or if quail get extra excited if you give them cocaine.
Yeah, I can tell you right now, if I give any bird cocaine, go give a woodpecker cocaine. See what happens. You get excited. It's gonna knock down a couple fucking oak trees, right?
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of saying cuss words, Russ, I took a how to podcast. I took a class, right?
Okay. Are we doing it right?
No, nothing we're doing is right.
Okay.
So I took the teacher aside and I go, ma'am, I appreciate all your input. I just don't think that some of this is going to fit the people in my tribe. And she's like, well, I don't understand. I go, look, I dropped the F-bomb like it's a friggin' comma. I'm saying every other thing I'm dropping the F-bomb. She goes, well, you got to be sensitive to that. I go, no, this is what I'm telling you. My tribe is not sensitive. We're like hardcore, and I appreciate it, what you're trying to teach me here, but I'll take some of the points. But other than me dropping the F-bomb now and then, it's probably going to happen. So she rolled her eyes at me because she's super liberal, and basically she just hated me and kicked me out. So, oh yeah, Bullshit says Bullshit says they got a fund to check deer to see if they can transmit COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a ton of them. Well, one thing I would do, and it's already on the news, is they said only 12% of the government buildings are actually being occupied.
Yep.
And that a lot of people are still working from home. No.
Mm-hmm. 40-hour week.
Consolidate. Yeah, consolidate that. Get your ass in your seat and come to work like everybody else has to do nowadays, okay?
Yeah.
Battle on the Corey says we're all loving assholes. What did that with chronic wasting degrees here in Michigan? Yeah, basically. Oh, Patrick. So I was in a panel. The other day, and there was a bunch of people in there from Michigan. So of course I had to tell them, listen, guys, let's all just agree that the UP should belong to Wisconsin. Holy crap. They friggin' went ballistic, man. They looked at me like I had 3 friggin' heads. Look, I'm not making very good waves. Okay. I'm making a few waves here in Vegas.
You read How to Win Friends and Influence People on the plane on the way there, didn't you?
Oh, they hate me. They hate me.
That's awesome.
It's just the only people I'm like really getting along with. Couple guy. I met a homosexual libertarian our first day. Very nice guy. He told me how his husband, boyfriend / whatever, I don't understand, is like, Melissa, what did he say? He's super gay. Yeah, his boyfriend is super gay, so he's like a really flamboyant. But he's like, I got guns, man, and this guy's got bars and stuff in his nose, and it was look, I'm getting along with that, Russ. I'm getting along with everybody.
So, needless to say, he's a pitcher, not a catcher.
Oh, I would say he definitely is a. I mean, maybe he's a power bottom. I don't know. I didn't ask him all that stuff. But,
and right down to the bottom we go.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Amy, I got the. I feel like mafioso up here in Vegas. Where my people, built this city for the love of God, and we're not getting any respect here. So I'm trying to represent the Eden Army the best way we can. And plus, people don't mess with me when I got my little dinner jacket on. Plus, it's colder. Plus, Russ is colder than hell here.
Yeah, it's a little chilly here, man. I don't think it got above 60 here today.
Yeah. It's.
But so, Teresa said in the background, the DEI department for the Army has threatened to quit if Hajseth becomes sex death. Well, not only the DEI department, they got generals around the Pentagon that are losing their ever-loving mind.
Yeah. It's look, which I don't understand, because Trump's gonna give the military money. They just got to do shit the right way.
Exactly.
It's like that part. It's like that part in my book in Birchwood Burning, where the president sits down with all the joint chiefs and says they're complaining about the money, and then he goes in and asks them, "Well, you're still doing all this DEI stuff?"
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you still are? Oh, well,
Yeah.
maybe you might want to fix that first, right?
Yep, exactly.
So 660, are you roughing it? 60, I am roughing it. It's Russ. Here's another thing about this. This air here is so dry. Of course, we're in a desert. I get it. But I'm walking down the hallway, and all of a sudden my nose starts just randomly bleeding.
Are you sure Melissa didn't backhand you?
Well, luckily she wasn't there, but I'm thinking like, and everyone's now everyone's looking at me, right? Like I'm something's wrong with me. Like
Yeah,
I'm turning into a zombie. And
no,
all
it's the cocaine you're snorting.
That's exactly what I said. I go, man, I must have got some bad coke last night, and I'm like rubbing my nose, and I go off in the bathroom. So,
Oh
yeah.
goodness.
Crane funding available to have until Trump.
I saw that, Patrick. They said the current Secretary of State, I believe, it came out and said that they're going to push as much available funds as possible to Ukraine up and until January 20th.
And that just goes to show you that they don't want the war to actually end.
No,
they want to just want to wash their money over there in the Ukraine.
Yep.
Because if truly they wanted it to end, they know Trump is going to make that happen. Mm-hmm. So they're going to get all the money they can get over there. They can funnel all their money over there until Trump comes in and stops that damn war.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. So, I mean, there have been some interesting appointments. Some I definitely agree with. Some are like, well, okay, I guess. And I'm on the fence about. Tom Homan for Director of Homeland Security. Absolutely. Homeland Security, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. And ICE Director maybe or something like that. I don't quite remember.
Yeah. But yeah,
well, Russ, that he actually came in under the Obama administration.
Yep, sure did, as a director of ICE.
Yeah, and liberals are losing their mind. That was an Obama appointee.
Mm-hmm. But I tell you, he's going to be the new border czar, I guess. But I've watched a couple of videos of him, and he's not pulling punches.
No, he's not.
The whole Matt Gaetz Attorney General thing, people are losing their mind.
I'm thinking that might be a bad idea. I like Matt Gaetz. I like the way he stood up in Congress. I like the things he said. I like how he's against, the deep state stuff. But you got to understand the dynamics there and what it looks like from the outside. Now he's under an ethics violation. They're doing an ethics case on him, even though the DOJ said they didn't have enough evidence to press charges on him. But by appointing him, that immediately stops that investigation, right?
Yep.
It just gives a bad look.
It does, but the Department of Justice didn't find enough finding to
convict him.
To convict him.
Right.
So, to me, it was a witch hunt to begin with, but I don't know.
Well, I get it. And the one thing that the news was saying today, what I could catch, is that they were talking about some of these appointees and how Trump, on his first run at presidency, he basically went with the industry standard, right? He went with the Washington standard for appointees, and they all stabbed him in the back. Almost every one of them eventually stabbed him in the back. So now what he's doing now, he's going with trusted people that are outside of the Washington swamp. They're still in Washington, but they don't play nice with others.
Yeah.
What's up, Ed?
Yeah, show up when you can, brother.
Yeah, here when you can. He's doing hero shit.
Oh, probably. Although the only pictures he sent me lately is some deer he shot. So he's probably processing deer. So
he's getting some hunting done.
Yeah.
So hold on, Russ. I gotta show you this crazy shit here. They give you these tags, right? So you can get into the venue.
Okay.
And on these tags, you're supposed to attach stuff like I'm a post-apocalyptic writer, and there are some people that have these things lined up like this long. So this is why people love me here. I go out and I find these things here, and I start attaching this to my badge. So people really think I'm an idiot. And my favorite.
Yes. Manuscripts I'd like to finish. Absolutely. There's Terry.
Terry, I was beginning to worry about you.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's it's been interesting. Vegas is an interesting place. Now I was here like 30 years ago, 25 years ago maybe. I seem to remember it being a little different. A lot different, actually.
It was because it's been almost 20 years since I've been there.
Yeah.
Actually just over 20 years since I've been there.
Yeah, it's an interesting place now. Very, very liberal. I can't stress that enough. And everything, and not just like here in the resort, but everything, even the restaurants, everything's so expensive. I cannot wait to get home. I can't wait to get back with my people.
So
but I am glad that I came, because I am learning mostly what I'm doing wrong in the professional writing business, right?
yeah.
And some things we're doing right, but mostly wrong. I'll work on it.
Yeah. So, I mean, you talked about all the little stickers with all the different genres and stuff like that. Talk to us, man. Tell us some of the genres. Tell us some stories,
Russ.
man. Tell us about your time there.
Russ, I didn't know. I didn't know there were so many different genres in the writing world, and not only so many different genres, but the names of some of these genres. Russ, have you ever read a book under the genre cozy romance?
No.
No, because no one knows they exist except for cozy romance people. What about time travel romance?
Nope.
Here's a good one, Russ. Paranormal romance.
I've heard of that one.
What does that mean? You're banging ghosts?
Or I think it's more along not necessarily ghosts, but like what was the damn TV show with the werewolves and the
Well, no, that's different. That's a
That's
whole
different.
nother.
Oh,
That's a whole nother set of
oh.
genres. Yeah, this is all just in the weird romance categories. I don't. Maybe I need to start writing this stuff. Maybe there's a market for it. I'm gonna do
Holy cow, Diana.
Yeah, I'm gonna do paranormal romance. I'm gonna start writing that.
Yeah.
What's wrong with Diana?
She just said she was in Vegas last Tuesday, stayed at a Motel 6, 1 bedroom, 1 person, 1 night, $165.
Oh, probably she probably got a bargain too.
Yeah. Okay, so Terry is saying there's a movie on Hallmark about time travel and romance.
I never knew.
You told me a story earlier, okay, about writing fighting scenes.
Oh yeah. So listen,
I don't want you to get to the punchline. I want to see what the comments think the punchline is.
So I went to a seminar because I want these people to teach me how to write a better fighting scene. So the lady's getting up there and she's doing all her jujitsu and she's playing everything out. So at the end of all these classes, they have Q&A time as much as they can allow, because everything's very strict here. 45 minutes, you are done, you're out of the room, go off to the next class. So she took a class, Russ, and I might have been one of the only military type, post-apocalyptic type authors in there, because everybody else is sci-fi, fantasy, paranormal romance people. I don't know what kind of fighting you're doing there, but okay, whatever. And the girl gets up and she asks, this question is about weapons, and what type of weapon, if I'm writing a scene where my main character is riding a dragon, what kind of weapon should they be carrying? I'm not going to tell you what the lady told her. Let's see what the chat has to say. Guys, if you're riding on top of a dragon and you're a superstar fantasy person, fighter, what kind of weapon should you be carrying?
And while we're waiting to oh, well done, Diane. She said, Corey said earlier, I thought you said banging goats and was wondering why we were talking about Iraq. And she responded back with, we don't want to hear about your escapades while you were in the sandbox.
Oh,
That's
good.
fucking well done. Well done.
So Amy says that they should have a bullwhip. All right, I can see that to kind of prod it along.
Teresa says a sword.
Matt says a bow.
A sword.
A big lance. All right, I like it. Oops. A lance or sword. Guy says
magic staff. An AR.
Battle axe, magic staff. I like all these. You guys are really going. Now I'm going to give you Russ. I'm going to give you help now, and I like this particular teacher. I like this instructor.
Now the answer has been given.
Has it?
It has been given.
Yeah, I saw who gave it.
Yeah.
So the girl gets up and she goes, "Let me just understand your question." She's short. She's a fighter girl. She's a little cute girl, and she goes, "Let me understand your question. You're flying, and you're fighting, and you're on a dragon." And the girl goes, "Yeah. What kind of weapon should my main character be carrying?" And the girl looks at her, and this is her first time ever like speaking at a conference. I really liked her. She goes, "Ma'am, you're riding a fucking dragon. Use the dragon."
Absolutely. And Rev wins.
Yeah, it was I didn't get anything out of the class other than some laughter, but it was pretty good. And when the videos come out, because they're videoing everything, I think she used me as a prop for one self-defense technique or something. So I'll make sure you guys get that. It was fascinating, I guess. What else?
Corey, I will have to vouch for you on that one. I've seen those videos as well. It was something else. Although the one I saw involved a donkey, and it was filmed under night vision. See, I don't know this bullshit. This is something that these people that write this stuff would know. I'd never seen so many genres and never knew half of this crap existed. What's going on, Mr. Toombs? Good to see you, my brother from another mother. Yeah, Big Bob in the house.
What else? This is how real cryptic one of the questions was, Russ. It says, okay, my main character is fighting on a lake of ice. And you told me that they can't throw a punch effectively on a lake of ice because they can't get a sturdy platform. They don't have a good position, a good fighting position. And she goes, so what kind of magic staff should they have? And I'm looking at myself, and I'm like, I want to kill myself at this point. If they had a magic staff or a dagger or something, I was going to take it and stick it right in my eyeballs. It's interesting. Okay, so I'm going to speculate that this is a 30 to 20 something person is asking this question. That has obviously never played Dungeons and Dragons before. Right. That's what I would listen. I'm with you. That's what I would think. That's what I would think, Russ. But most of these writers, my friend, are 50-year-olds, maybe even pushing 60-year-old women that are writing these things. And now the younger people that are writing, I don't know. I didn't talk to them. They talk so much. I had to walk away. I couldn't. I don't know. It was like the teacher.
Know you know people well.
It was like the teacher on the fucking cartoon.
Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown. That's all I was hearing. So all I'm doing is I'm going and trying to find either Kevin Pierce or someone from the post-apocalyptic genre. Because I can't. I'm like, it's magic missile, this, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, sweet Jesus. Let me get away from everybody.
Yeah, I mean, can't throw a punch on a block in your lake of ice. Okay, and did they have magic available?
I blocked it all out.
I would say, hey, put spikes on my freaking shoes.
Yeah, do something. Figure it out. You're a writer. Be creative. I don't know what you do.
I mean, do it the way you do it. Pull shit out of your ass.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. You don't have to be just figure some crazy shit out and write your story around it. I don't understand it, but apparently these people are making money on this stuff. So,
Yeah,
look,
more
next
power to
book
'em.
might be post-apocalyptic magic, mystery, romance.
Post-apocalyptic romance. There you go.
Yeah, I don't know. Pete, in my opinion. Oh, thanks, brother.
He just needs to get back to writing.
Yeah, so that's one thing that is a common theme here is look, you make your money writing. Why are you worried about this, that, the other thing? Write more books. And they're right. So, but there's other aspects like marketing and stuff like that. Russ, you know, I don't market myself. I suck at it. I hate the fact that I'm even doing this
Kicking and
speaks
screaming.
volumes, right? But that is a thing, Matt. It is a thing that I need to learn. I need to learn some marketing skills, and I'm working on it.
You know exactly what. Yeah, you know exactly which one.
I'm doing it. I'm gonna write a post-apocalyptic romance, paranormal romance. I might throw in some zombies. All right, and it's gonna be a whole bunch of magic, and I don't know.
Well,
I don't know what I'm doing.
you know, I have a very good friend. He was in the military with me. His name is David Welliver. He is a member over on the Eden Army. He has written a couple of books, and his are basically Dungeons and Dragons meets Rainbow Six.
I can't see my mind. I get it. I'm sure he sells a shit ton of them.
Well,
I just can't
well,
wrap my mind around it.
he does, and he does. I don't know how well he does. The book was okay. The books were okay. So picture yourself, say, the Ocala National Forest area where most of the tribe lives.
Mhm.
It gets picked up and transported to a medieval realm. Now, anything and everything you have available on your plot of land, you still have available in this medieval realm. But it
Like-
turns out that you can end up getting some magical powers, but you can also mount a freaking Mark 19 on top of a dragon.
Right, exactly.
You know, and I mean it was a crazy book, and it was absolutely hilarious. Lesbian dragon. All right, what the heck? Hold
That's
on, I
Patrick.
gotta read
I like
that.
it. So Patrick, yeah, I have been learning some stuff, and mostly it's on the marketing end and how to promote myself better, and some time management stuff. But yeah, no, it's the conference itself is certainly worth it. So there are some great takeaways from that, and the most important thing is your networking, right? I met a guy today who was writing in another genre, but he decided he wants to write post-apocalyptic, but he has a good idea for what he wants to write. So I gave him my business card and I go, look, that's something that could happen in the Eden event. If you want help with it, right, then I'll notch out that part of the country, and you can do it, and we'll work together on it, right? That goes for anybody that wants to do something like that. If you want to write a book that takes place during the Eden event and from New Jersey or Connecticut, or then let's do it. Let's collab on it, and we'll put it out. Why not?
Yep, and you mentioned that last week, and the you posted I think either was that day or the next day the map, and there are still. That's got to be Griff. I'm not even going to look at who that was.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Griff's being Griff. You know, you have several states that are gray because we haven't figured out exactly where they are yet. You haven't decided where they are at in the story.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Eden Army hitting all 50 states would be pretty freaking interesting, you know?
I mean, why not? If anybody has any desire to write, look, if I can do it, certainly anybody can do it, and we can take you through the steps of getting that done. I'm keeping Florida and Wisconsin, and you guys can figure out the rest of that stuff. And that'll come on a first come, first served basis if someone notches out. And we could segment it out too, as long as everything is cohesive and it all goes under that same event. Why not? Let's have fun with it. Right.
Yeah, yes, Amy. She is definitely the better half. We celebrated 29 years together on Monday.
Matt White's in the house. Matt, this is I talked to Kevin Pierce as a narrator in the post-apocalyptic genre, the voice of the apocalypse, really, if we're going to be serious about it. And he next year is thinking about doing some narrator author stuff here at this conference. So something to think about next year at this conference in Vegas. I'll put the introduction in with him, and he is.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He's one of the best in the business.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'm gonna put this up on the screen. Patrick Seven says maybe the Eden Series, Wisconsin, and the UP can go to war.
Yeah, there's something going on there that's bouncing around in my head. Kind of reminds me of like Russia, the Russian territories, and the Ukraine, right? Mm-hmm. Where it's full of Russians, but Ukraine owns the territory. Susan, if you wrote an autobiography, I'm not sure that you may carve your own niche, your own genre.
Yeah.
You may, and I think you could almost potentially co-write that with Rev, and that would be a train wreck that everybody would flip pages for because they want to know what happens next.
Yeah.
Like, I think Susan says she made out with Richard Gere at one point. I don't know. I was drunk around the campfire, but she was saying, Kyla Stones people. Yeah, you're right, Rev.
Oh man.
Yeah, California would be a good one. There's a lot of cannon fodder there. You could definitely do that.
Yeah, I mean that one could be because how would they separate it? Because I mean, it's already pretty much separate. Gavin Newsom is threatening to secede. Bye, Felicia.
And what's going on the west coast of California as opposed to the northern parts of it or the eastern part of it?
Eastern Central, yep.
That's a whole bunch of conflict right there all by itself. So would be pretty good.
It would. It really would.
Yeah, Matt, he does. He's really good, and he's like the benchmark for post-apocalyptic narrators.
I met him 2018, 2019 up at Heritage Life Skills, and got to just hang out and have drinks with him. When we were at a big get together, he was a really nice fellow.
Yeah, no, he does pretty good. And also they have that conference he's at every year in St. Petersburg.
Yeah.
Which I haven't decided yet, but I may fly down from Wisconsin just to go to that concert or that conference and then fly back up. Haven't decided yet.
Yeah. And Griff, I will definitely agree with that. I'll put it up on the screen. He says the whole damn book could be wrote about the shit that happens around the campfire with this crew.
Yeah. That's a fact. But look, what happens around the campfire stays around the camp. It's like Vegas, right?
Yeah.
That's why I think I'm going to take everybody's phone. Speaking of that, campfires, Russ, and the next Eden get together, right? That's going to be February 21st, 22nd, 23rd, right?
Correct.
And I think we got shirts. How are we going to do the shirts this year?
Okay, so the guys, we are going to try to do shirts, and I'll get once I get the mock-up from our own Matthew, we will put them out. The shirts will be $15 and $17 if you're over 2X, and they will be pre-order and prepay only. That way we don't have a bunch of extra ones hanging around. So more to follow on that. Yeah, that's true, hopefully, Corey. But when I will be sending that information out, and I'll be running it all through me. That way Pete can concentrate on his writing.
Yes, apparently I need to write more. That seems to be the common theme around here. Okay, let's get what Patrick
Oh,
says here.
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Could
Start
happen.
writing, Patrick. Start writing.
Yeah, go from the Michigan side as long as Wisconsin wins. Because honestly, the UP should belong to Wisconsin.
Oh, you were saying something about taking phones, and Diana says you can't take her phone. She has an app that she has to stay near it, or you'll hear obnoxious alarms go off. Now,
Oh,
Diana, you don't have to tell us if you don't want to, if it gets too personal, but is that just because you lose your phone like most other folks that we kind of know? You know, sitting there going, "Where's my phone?
right.
Where I can't find my phone."
I am Miss Amy. I am knee deep into book 2 of the new series. I decided that's where I'm going to concentrate my efforts, and the words are flowing good for that one. So that's going to be next. And then, of course, I want to get that done as quick as possible, but still make it good so we can get so we can hear Matt do some more narration on it.
And it is good so far, folks. I'm telling you, that's all I'm going to say. It's fucking
Oh,
awesome.
stop! You do. You know, every time Russ, every time you say that, Christy's fucking head explodes.
I know.
Because
I know. I know. That's why I do it. So Corey says they have a sitter, so they won't be bringing the youngins. So it'll be just him and Nikki. So
Okay.
Lord help them if they get into the Fireball and and Sweet Tea. So
Well, we got 10 acres. They can go do whatever they want on the backside of the pond and have fun.
Yeah.
So what else is going on in the news? I've been away from the TVs and the social media and stuff like that.
I mean, it's the same old, same old. You know, the lefties are threatening to leave. I guess Eva Longoria decided to leave.
Yes, perfect.
But most of them are still here. Evidently, the View is not getting. They're considering some changing to a more conservative approach.
Oh, imagine that.
Whoopi has evidently walked out, and she has sworn off sex for the next 4 years. So, I mean, that. What do you think of that, man? The 4B movement.
I love it. I think that all liberals should stop. Yeah, I think all liberals should stop having sex. I think they should stop making more liberals. I think at that point, if that's happening, then the abortion argument is moot, right? Because they're killing most of their offspring anyway. So yeah, I'm all for it. Shave your heads, tie your boobs around your neck, whatever you do. Don't have sex. Love it. It's a great idea. Or look, just be married for 20 years. That solves the not having sex problem. That's the way I see it.
Moses gonna smack you, man.
He just threw something at me. But speaking of the next get together, we need to get a head count.
Yep.
So Russ, we can do
will.
a spreadsheet and get a head count at some point. That way, we make sure we got enough grub, beer, and porterlets and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, let's plan on making a social media post on that next week.
Okay. Yeah, because like the portalets and stuff like that, Russ.
Yeah.
That's bike week, or that's race week. That's race not week, but it's in the same month. So
yeah, it's the week after. It's the week after the 500.
Yeah, so it might be. I need to make that happen. Get on the list for those things.
Okay. I'll make it.
And then I need to also. I'm getting. I didn't know you could do this, but you know you can stock the pond with fish.
Yes.
Apparently, you can stock your entire field if you want to with ticks and chiggers. So I'm going to go ahead and get those rounded up.
Get those ordered again. Get them ordered again. Yeah.
That way everyone can get.
It worked well last time. It worked well last time. Yeah.
It did work well.
Yeah.
And they can take them home to their own home state. And
yeah. And hey, it's bringing. Hey, this. People say you're not. I saw in the comments earlier that they said you don't have a romantic bone in your body. Those ticks and chiggers made couples much closer. That
it did, yeah.
You know, you're bringing romance into their lives.
You're right. I can't argue with that point. I think Birchwood though is as romantic as I'm going to get. I don't think I could. I'm not a prude. Oh, maybe. Oh, Chrissy might be talking about Melissa.
Yeah. So, Lily, the dates are 21, 22, 23 February. And Susie's asking when the hike is. And you told me it was the 2nd of February?
Yeah, we're going to do the first for the hike. We're going to do the first weekend of February.
So that'd be 1, 2, 3 Feb. 1, 2, 3 Feb.
I think that's all dependent on weather and all that good stuff. So that's going to be a fluid thing.
Weather?
I want it to be cold. I want it to be cold. That way we can all get around the fire. Guy, we used to have chickens. Guy said he's going to buy a whole flock of chickens, and that way he can have them eat the ticks.
And it will, and they will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, either that or get some possums. They do it. And yes, Bullshite, that is a country song. Brad Paisley, I want to check you for ticks.
No. Amy says she stocks her pond every 5 years. I think
Amy lives in Iowa.
I do. Okay.
Yep. And we were close to where we drove when we drove up 35. Yeah. 35 up through Iowa. We were fairly close to her, but I forgot that she was in Iowa and didn't reach out.
Now, have we met Amy at any of the gatherings, or
I don't believe so. But Amy's been around. She's been around with the Angry Crew for a long time, and she's just good people.
Yeah, good.
But we need to get Amy to come to some of these events, like Mountain Readiness, which is May 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of next year. Bob, if you're still in the chat, which he probably isn't, he probably went to take a shower and go get some sleep because they've been working his butt off. He's actually out at one of the FOBs, for lack of a better way of putting it, helping with the relief efforts still up there in her Western North Carolina.
Perfect.
And definitely the website and the mailing list. Yep, I-35. I was right.
The one thing, what I missed, did you see during all this, first of all, there's a whole big old congressional UFO thing going on again. That's all just to take our eyes off the real thing that's going on. And that's the climate summit.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to push $1 trillion a year from the United States into this climate summit friggin' thing, Russ. And believe me, they're going to try to push that they're going to try to get some type of agreement set in stone before the 20th of January. $1 trillion a year.
That's ridiculous.
Get the hell out of here. These people are crazy. Oh, Lord help us.
So, guys, we'll pick up. I'm going to change the subject on you a little bit because it popped into my brain. We'll make a social media post about the get together in February, and we just want to try to start getting a head count. So make sure if you can come. We'll hopefully see all of you there. Amy, if you guys can make it down, and those of you guys that are away from Florida, come on down. We've had people drive all the way from Texas and all the way from Louisiana, not Texas, all the way from Louisiana last time. So it was a good time.
Did we answer
sleep this time?
Yeah. Did we answer Lily on the dates? The 21st,
Yes.
22nd, and 23rd of February. Yep. Yeah. So don't go traveling the world and leaving the country again. Those dates need to be ironed out.
Yep.
For you. Put them on your calendar.
But yeah, it has been a fairly quiet week. I wanted to show a video tonight, but we'll show it next week, and I'm sure some people have seen it, so I'll wait. So Pete, we're going to kind of come back to it now. Where do you think that Elon and Vivek should start?
First of all, let's get rid of those 85,000 IRS agents that are just sitting there, since they're not going to be going after people making tips now anyway, because that should be tax free, right? So I think you start there, get rid of the IRS. The intelligence agencies need a good cleansing. They need a good enema, and then again, they need to consolidate all these buildings we're paying $520 million a year for to lease that are only 12% occupied. That's a good start. Not to mention all the pork projects that are going on.
Well,
That's just a start.
yeah. Well, and you mentioned the buildings, and if we're leasing these buildings and we're in a lease and we can't get out of it, why not move homeless veterans into it?
Yeah.
I
mean, do something if you can't get out of the lease.
With it. Yeah, do something about it. And I agree with you. I think going through the budget, they're trying to push through a lot of stuff with this new budget they got working on now. Cut the fat. There are things on the budget books allocations that are no longer approved and haven't been, and they're still getting funded. So where is this money going? No. Let me finish my statement before we get into where I think it's going. Where is it going? And why is it still going there? And why, cut it, and it's going to the various folks in Congress that are responsible for these bills to say, yeah, we still need that. We're not going to take it off. Because I'm sorry, how can someone come into Congress making $165,000 a year and leave after 4 to 6 to 8 years or more and be multimillionaires?
Yeah.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Well, and not only that, but then they get paid for the rest of their lives, full salary, full pension, full health insurance.
No.
Now's the time. Look, if they're really serious about term limits, with Republicans having control of everything, if they're really serious about it, pass it. Let's see if they will, though. I know they won't, because they're just a different branch on the same tree.
Well, right? And I think there are some in there that would be okay with it, but the majority, to include the new Senate Majority Leader, which I'm totally disgusted with already, they won't do it. But presidents with a lifetime, his salary for life, okay, I can see that. But a congressman, number one, you shouldn't need a house in Washington, D.C. You should be spending the majority of your time in your state, supporting your state. Because, 2020 during COVID proved it. We can do Zoom meetings,
Yeah, sure. If anybody's
I'm on the soapbox tonight. You got me fired up.
Look, if anybody can work from home, certainly the Congress people can. They could read that stuff and then vote via Zoom or however the hell they do it. Yeah, you're right. COVID proved that they could do that. However, if you're an actual worker in DC, say you work at the Treasury Department or wherever, get your ass at your desk and do your job. You can't. That's not something you should be doing at home.
Yep, I agree, Rev. Nobody's going to say cut my benefits.
No, but look, you shouldn't be public service was never meant in that to be a lifetime thing. That was for the common person to go do their civic duty, and do their 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, and then get the hell out for a fresh mind, right? Problem is, when you're there for that long, then you develop relationships with all these lobbyists. Okay, and that's where all the money starts to come in. But met a lobbyist. It was the libertarian gay guy. He was a lobbyist in his previous life, and he told me about some of the things that went on. It's ridiculous. It's scandalous. It really is.
And 100% agree with that.
Of course. Here's what I think we should do with that. Well, I think we should base it on the average American salary.
Absolutely.
Let's go with the combined average American salary, and then that's what a congressional person makes.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll fix that shit when they're actually making 30 or 40 grand a year, and then let's see how they got to survive.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So,
right.
they're talking about one of the things that I've seen people are wanting is no tax on Social Security. I agree with that. You consider the average person works to the minimum age of 65 to 67, and they pay taxes on Social Security for that entire lifetime. They shouldn't have to pay taxes on the money that they put into the system. The problem is the government has raped the system and used that money for elsewhere, and they're just trying to get it back, which is why they're taxing it.
And you're right. And once something's in the budget, they never get rid of it. They never give it back. You're right, Matt. Public service should be viewed as an honor instead of a way to get rich, with the exception maybe not getting rich, but you should be able to make a living if you're a police officer or a firefighter or something like that. You should make a living wage doing that. But these politicians, absolutely not.
Yeah.
And definitely not get rich.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons that I think all the heads are exploding in DC right now. If you look at all the cabinet appointments, the majority of them are not the traditional boomers. They are more Gen X, and they are the younger people that it's time for them to step up, and I think that's going to be a good thing. And that's nothing against the boomer. I claim myself as a boomer, even though I missed it by 2 years. But I have a lot of boomer ideologies.
Yep.
So,
Russ, you do the logistics on this one here. I just threw up. I'm tired of saying this.
Okay, guys, make sure you follow, like, share, subscribe to all of Pete's social medias: Facebook, Kick, definitely Kick, YouTube, X. Speaking of Kick, before we get through with the rest of it, next week we will be doing the drawing for the giveaway, since we met our threshold, our bench. What's the word I'm looking for? Help me out here.
We met our
goals,
our quota, our goal.
Our goal for the next
giveaway.
Next giveaway. Yes.
Yep.
So
we're gonna do that once I get home, because I'll have all my equipment here and I'll be able to cycle through. And we're gonna be giving away that Pathfinder cooking set. And then what I'll do is I'll just have it drop ship right from Survival BSO to your house. So whoever wins that will get your address and send it directly to you. Let's see what Matt says here.
Yeah, I like that. He goes, I like how Trump put it. I'm appointing people that want the job and don't need the money.
Well, yeah, and I just saw a thing on X that Elon says, let's see, I'm going to do a job where I'm not making any money and the majority of people are going to hate me. Sure, sign me up.
I know, right?
Let's see.
Yeah, words are hard at times. Okay. Buy his book. Chris says, buy his book, buy his swag. I keep eating at his house, so he needs grocery money. Yeah. Hey, speaking of, are you going to be able to deduct that on your taxes this year, Christy and Guy?
I didn't keep my damn receipts for that one. I should have, though. Damn it! See, I'm such a bad business person, Russ. That's what I'm telling you. I'm such a bad business person.
And I keep telling you, I've been sitting here drinking for two since you were too cheap to go buy a drink.
No, it's not that I'm too cheap. $8 for this.
Wow.
I can't do it. It's ridiculous. I hate this place. Well, my wife's taking airplane rides in the Grand Canyon. That's what I need to pay for.
So you told me Monday night, you didn't pop in on T's podcast because you're watching the game down in the bar, and you said you had 2 drinks.
Yeah.
And you said it was your normal, the double oak.
Yeah,
and
not fancy stuff.
And you literally told me, and I'm still having my trouble wrapping my brain around it, that the 2 drinks cost you what it would normally cost you to buy a bottle of double oak in Florida.
The entire bottle. My 2 drinks would have paid for the entire bottle.
That's ridiculous.
And it's packed. It's packed. People are just throwing money. I don't know how people are making money here. I don't know. They're mafia, they're drug dealers. I got no clue, but I don't get it. I got to get out of here. I'm going broke.
I hear that.
Oh Lord. That's I don't think I got much. Let me check our timeline here. See what we got.
I think we hit pretty much everything. You've been mentioning your social medias. You mentioned you're subscribed to your newsletters like you're supposed to.
Yeah, we talked about the appointments.
Yeah. You downloaded a bunch of PDFs that you from the stuff that you learned, so we can try to either figure out what works for us or and what doesn't. And we'll digest the information like we do when we do make decisions when it comes to the podcast. So we'll try it out, and if it don't work, we'll say screw it, and we'll go in another direction and keep doing the way we do it.
Yeah, I'm pretty much not going to take any of the advice on the podcast.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Let me ask you this. I signed up for a class that says making your social media and website more accessible. What do you think that means?
Trying to make it to where it doesn't anger the algorithm gods.
That's what I thought too. And that's why I said I need this, because I piss everybody off. So if I can just get a little nugget of information on how my stuff can get distributed a little better. So I'm in this class, and the lady's saying she's saying, your website needs to be more accessible. So I said, yeah, teach me, lady. Teach me how to do this. I need to know this. And then she goes on to tell me how all my pictures should have subtext below them, because what if a blind person comes to my website? Or what if a deaf person does this? Or what if a guy with 2 fingers does this? Or what if a guy with 1 leg does this? And I was like, look, I get it. When that happens, I'll bandage them up in the post-apocalyptic era. I'll bandage them up, and they won't have to worry about websites and stuff like that. But those aren't my peeps. You're mislabeled your entire friggin' class, and here I am stuck because I didn't want to walk out and be that guy that just walks out. But yeah, so there were a few classes like that.
Or we'll talk offline on that one.
Yeah, and there was, a lot of this stuff going on. Chrissy, a lot of make sure your stuff's inclusive.
Yeah, like making sure you have your pronouns.
Yeah.
Like my pronouns are leave me the fuck alone.
A lot of alphabet DEI stuff, LWCQ plus AI, this, that, the other thing. Okay, look, if you want to be part of the Eden Army, come on, let's go. I don't mind.
Yeah. Get
your freak on in the tent, like Christy and Guy did. I don't mind that. But I'm not going to cater to that kind of thing. I'm not going to say you can't. I'm not going to cater to it.
Right.
So no LPGA, AI, this, that, the other thing. I'm not doing it.
That's my line. That's my line. You stole my line. So, and the reason Pete's laughing, we were making our very first trip down to Pete's place, and I was coming up on LPGA Boulevard, and I'm driving, I'm towing the camper, I'm trying to make sure I'm in traffic, and I'm talking to him, do I need to turn? And I say, I'm coming up to LGBTQ Boulevard, and he goes, no, Russ, it's LPGA. So right. it is what it is. Very good. I agree with that one, Matthew.
Yeah, Terry, I wish either the world would go back to normal or it would just burn down. One of the two. Let's just get it on. Let's make it happen, and let's either get back to normal or get back to rebuilding. One of the two. I don't mind either way.
Yep, absolutely. And yeah, Rev, I may not have walked out, but we may have. If I'd have been in there with anybody else that I knew, like it, Pete, if you and I had been sitting in there, we'd have probably gotten kicked out.
Right.
I've only walked out of one class in my lifetime, and I'll save that story for another day.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, Corey, we did talk about how now he has total control. And Russ, how does that work now that he's appointing some of these senators?
Well,
are we losing? Are we going to lose those seats, or does he get to do something different with those?
Well, all right. So say that one more time.
So he's we currently hold the House.
Correct.
We have 218.
Correct.
But now he's appointing some of them to cabinet positions.
I don't.
For example, Marco Rubio.
Right.
So he's going to be leaving. So now what happens? I don't know the answer to that.
I don't either. Now with Matt Gaetz, he resigned. DeSantis is going to hold a special election and or appoint somebody. And they're so I don't know if it's going to work the same way with that. That's kind of out of my scope of knowledge. I'm hoping that my lovely bride, who knows more about politics than I do, will chime in. But having said that, they're already making waves about RFK or Tom Hogan or Todd Hagstaff. They're going to have trouble getting them confirmed. So somebody asked a congressman about that, and his response was epic. His response was, "That's easy. Trump can recess both houses of Congress and invoke Articles 2, Section 3 of the Constitution and do a recess appointments. Just that simple."
So he can basically just, and that's legal.
And that's legal according to the Constitution.
Perfect.
Just that easy.
So there you go. Teresa and Koala both said that the governors either appoint or hold a special election to replace those seats. So that's good to know. So there's no way we could back up and lose that.
Yeah.
Good.
And Rev says DeSantis appoints someone to take
Marco.
Marco's place, and then he takes his place during the next election. So is DeSantis not up for re-election next term?
Oh, I'm sure he is. Yeah.
I just don't know how Florida does, because I know Henry McMaster's rumor is that he's going to retire. So we'll be having a new governor after the next election. So
Gotcha.
That's the rumor anyway. I was disappointed. I wasn't surprised, but I was disappointed that two of my senators did not vote for Scott.
Yeah. Yeah, and that would have been a good fit for him, because he really needs to get out of the state and go. I mean, he's winning, which is great, but I think he'd be better served up there in the swamp.
Oh yeah,
my opinion. Oh, there we go. The only way you could lose it is if the governor is a Dem and appoints a Dem. Now that makes sense, which is why he's pulling from red states. And but look, he's got two Democrats right now. He's put up for Congress. He got Tulsi Gabbard, that he wants to be the head of intelligence.
Yep.
And he's got RFK, right? So he's being pretty damn inclusive.
And the issue with that is RFK I'm okay with. Tulsi I'm holding reservations to see where her actions take her, and I hope they take her in the direction she's currently headed. Candace Owen came out this week and told Trump, "Be careful, you have people that do not have your best interests giving you advice."
Yeah, and hell, Tulsi, she might be a plant. Who knows? I don't know. And that's a hell of a place to put a plant, though, as a head of intelligence. Ugh.
Yep. Absolutely.
All right, so apparently I have dinner reservations at a restaurant that's probably going to cost me way too much money. So we're going to call the ball. We've been going an hour and 5 minutes, and we kept everybody on the same platforms today, which was nice of us.
Oh, awesome. We had a couple. I thought we had a couple people at the beginning. Yeah, a couple people over on Facebook.
Yeah, but I'm saying we didn't kick them off. We kept them on.
Yep, we did.
So for those of you still on Facebook, there's a couple of you over on Facebook, 3 on YouTube. Don't forget kick.com/Pete_Robert Tucci. That way, when we do decide to kick you off again, you're over with the cool kids over on kick.com. But we'll get back to normal on Thursday when I get home, God willing. And I'll have my fancy soundboard because there was a couple times I really wanted to push that button, that you can act like a man button. I saw Griff post some stuff. I really wanted my soundboard.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, I love you. Be safe. Can't be safe. Be dangerous.
Absolutely. See you, fellas.
Thanks for watching the Eden Army podcast. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And